All right, so I'm not recording these videos for my health, by the way. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. We seriously want to put together 100 homesteads that break even or better within 12 months or less. Okay, so this channel is all about you getting started on an agricultural operation of a scale that's appropriate for you to have a small farm or a homestead. Now, I'm going to accept a family retreat or a hunting lodge. And here's why. We talk a little bit about off-grid goats, okay, because they're a pretty durable animal that satisfies this type of scrub forest. But you may not have a scrub forest. You may have a mature stand trees. We talk about off-grid cabins. Okay, that's, of course, is going together so slow. It is cold right now. I would love those things to be fully insulated. But again, a lot of conflicting interests. We talk about how to get started on your small farm or homestead so you don't blow all your money and end up broke, poor, and homeless in a shelter on SNAP benefits, which is entirely possible to have happen. And that's part of our intentional thrift program, but we don't want it to be where you have to do anything in particular. We want you to be financially independent, to have financial security. And financial security comes with having calories on hoof, calories in the ground, and calories on a plant. And that's the way the pioneers did it, but we know that pioneers came home with arrows in their back. We don't want that to happen. We want you to get started with an operation to build, grow, and achieve the results that you want. So again, I'm doing these videos. I got a massive backlog of videos. Sometimes you'll see a video, it'll be winter out, and then I'm complaining about how hot it is or something, because there's a massive backlog of videos. I'm not putting the videos out for my health. I'm putting the videos out for your results. Now, the videos are all haphazard all over the place. There's very little storyline. I'm not trying to entertain you. I'm trying to help you get practical and measurable results with your small farm, homestead, or estate. I'm going to introduce you to resources that are going to help you get started. Sometimes I'm going to be reporting because I don't have expertise, for example, in raising goats. I initially raised goats when I was a kid, and I've only had these goats for maybe 120 days. I'm not really sure. I have to look that up. Grew up with some chickens and stuff, but initially we grew up in the suburbs, and so I didn't have any of this stuff. We did have one neighbor from West Africa who had chickens at his house illegally, but again, it's part of getting back to the land. I'm going to introduce you to experts and individuals. By the way, you should be subscribing. Experts and individuals who can answer your questions, who are resources along the way, because again, community is the most valuable part of homesteading. Now, a lot of folks are working full-time jobs and they're going to retire onto a farm or a homestead. And so right now, maybe they want land in order to hunt on. And so what about habitat restoration? What about developing ecosystems? Every time I come out here and do a video, I notice something that needs to be repaired or fixed. I think that's the nature of things. But, all right. So these are the spiral to hold the fence together. And these two boys have been fighting each other. You can't really see that, tore up the fence. Anyway, consider these casual conversations between you and me where you can feel free to ask questions. I'm going to either provide you a podcast or a resource. I got a huge library of materials. I might recommend a course or even just give you an outline on how to get started. And that's because our food system in the United States of America and most of the world is falling apart. You see the farmers' protests in India, in UK, in former Soviet countries. All over the world, farmers are protesting because, first off, they've been subsidized so hard and regulated so hard, they really can't grow quality food. They've got to grow food that has certain chemicals in it and has certain types of waste product that's fertilizing it because their soil's destroyed. And we're changing that. So we're changing that with 100 homesteads or 100 pieces of property that are managed in a regenerative way, where we're creating more biomass, we're capturing and sequestering more carbon, we're pulling nitrogen out of the atmosphere, we're taking dust out of the atmosphere, we're using mushrooms to biodegrade and degrade what would normally be waste materials on a farm operation. We're raising animals in appropriate healthy environment. these cattle panels, there's no such thing as self-sufficient. I can't make these cattle panels. So when I get them, I got to do the best with them. I got to make them work. I got to make them work and last for a long time. So what are some ideas for night corrals and stuff? What are some ideas for putting animals out in the woods? I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, but this is something I'm passionate about, something I'm interested in. And then the overall advocacy side is, because my background is business development, marketing, as well as risk management. My advocacy side is 100 homesteads that are fully operational. They've got business plans, design plans. They've got full operations. They might even have staff running it from day to day. It could be a vineyard with a winery. It could be some kind of other homestead business. It could be, for example, the plan for this particular property is to wholesale meat goats. Now, these are Nigerian dwarfs. These are not meat goats. But there's dairy goats on the other side of here, Nigerian dwarf dairy. We're got to get started somehow. These goats were a fair price, and ultimately we're leveraging them to build infrastructure as we get a larger breed in here. But again, you got to start somewhere. Another factor to consider is our supply. When you go to the grocery store and you buy food, that food has been factory farmed somewhere. Now, even the organic stuff. What if you were getting started and doing a startup? How do you sell your product? How do you reach markets? What are the value add things that you can do? What are the laws, rules, and regulations that are going to keep you from getting the results you're going for? Because again, these big organizations lobby the government, and now the USDA comes out with some extraneous new requirement that the new guy on the block can't meet. Even if the new guy is just preparing for their family and their close neighbors under a private contract deal. Like Amos Miller got raided because he has a private contract deal, which is entirely a free market system. Two individuals have made a contract with each other for certain types of products and services, and the government's going to poke their head in it with rules and regulations that are meant for mass markets. See, there's a bit of advocacy here, and that's why, again, if we're going to have 100 homesteads operational, and by the way, if you want to be a part of this, in the comment below, comment homestead, okay? Comment homestead, because we'll get you some information, get you some resources, and get you started, because I'm going to, now there's a mastermind that's an extension of this that I'm not operating, I'm not running. Again, I'm going to bring you the very best resources, and that mastermind I attend. And we're going to basically feed that mastermind with 100 homesteads. And then through that regional or national network of homesteads, I would prefer you be in a temperate climate, by the way. North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Maryland, the Eastern Shore area. Because, again, if we're all working with each other through a community network, then we have the possibility to do business with each other, where one grower might produce something and ship it to another grower or to another operation, vice versa. So if you're supporting the homesteads, you're a butcher, baker, or candlestick maker, then, and you live in a rural area and you have agricultural land, then put homestead in the comments below. And then we're going to talk about, if there's 100 folks, we'll start talking specifically to your needs. Now, there's going to be some webinars scheduled here soon. Be sure you attend the webinars. Most of these webinars don't cost very much to attend. And again, the reason I'm not doing this for my health. The reason why we would charge for a webinar is because we're going to bring somebody in for training, but it gives you a little skin in the game. And then we can use those resources to extend. There's some scholarship programs. There's some grant programs. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm finding and bringing out to you guys. But again, but for a blockhead would write for free. So anyway, I'm going to dump this. This is for the ducks. A little bit more bedding for the ducks that came from the goats. I did a video to tell you about that. Anyway, if there's any specific content, my content is shaped by your questions. So either ask questions in the comments below, put homestead in the comments below if you want to be a part of the 100 homesteads that are going to be at break even or better. It can cost as much as $1 million to get a homestead off the ground, or a farm operation off the ground. That means I'm going to show you how to get consistent business so you can at least get to that point. and also how to step into homesteading, sometimes via the path of a hunting property, via the path of a family retreat, via the path of a second home, ultimately to break even or better. I'm not even hiding this stuff. I want you to have success. I'm telling you how it's done. Now, the thing is with AI and all this stuff today, there's no shortage of being told how to do stuff. The key is are you held accountable? Are you moving forward? Are you getting those results? Are you able to ask questions when you need to ask them? Anyway, I'm Justin Hitt, Prosperity Homestead. If you got questions about homesteading, ask them in the comments below. This is a real property I'm managing. This is not, well, it is a set. I already talked about that. It is a set for the off-grid cabins and the off-grid goats. But ultimately, these goats are eventually going to go to freezer camp. And we've already eaten some of the birds, some of the roosters. Anyway, I'm rambling. See, if you don't ask your questions, I don't know what to talk about. But www.prosperityhomestead.org. Looking forward to hearing from you. 100 homesteads is what we're looking to produce in the next 12 months. Mention Homestead in the comments below. We'll get you additional information. Thanks for watching. See, every time I do a video, I see something needs to be fixed. Look at these carabiners. I didn't even know they were sitting out here. Oh, what a mess.